Hello everyone, my name is Shankamuffin for all who don't know. Let's dive into what Jagex could do to tackle some common problems related to PVM. So I came up with this idea while I was in the shower, quite literally a shower thought, and I wanted to expand on this idea that I have. So basically, this is the idea that you could potentially tackle a lot of issues. What is an area of Gielinor that we don't ever go into, or it really doesn't have much content going on? Well, the ocean, but more specifically, underwater. The ocean is vast and undiscovered, but what if there was an expansion that allowed us to explore the depths below, to gain access to an underwater city, one that could have a new boss, monsters, as well as potentially could tackle some of the most common PVM issues that we have today. So here's my idea. With the expansion of this content, there needs to be a new quest. The lore could be how Pirate Pete has heard of an ancient underwater city that's on the outskirts of Port Phasmatis, or maybe even Murphy at Port Khazard has heard of this ancient tale. Or an even better fit, since we already have some lore to go off of, Ashihama, located in the Eastern Lands, where Shira can be our teller of secrets, to which we could visit such a land. The quest could be along the lines of gaining the trust of these people, involving either defending their underwater sea city, or helping restore the destruction that the nightmare left since Shura drove it away to where it resides now. Truly, with such a new expansion of content such as this, a quest that has to be Grandmaster level, or even Master level, I feel that would be appropriate. Now that we have some backstory, we can move into some of the other things that I have in mind. With this new city or town, whatever you'd like to call it, it's a good idea to get a sense as to what it holds. I mean, it's either a Master Quest or Grandmaster. There's no in between. This place will be entirely new, making that level of difficulty acceptable. The city could include a farming patch that's specific to giant seaweed. This could be 1 or 2 patches. In addition, there needs to be a bank here where players can deposit or withdraw items. There could be a shop here that is dedicated to some underwater items, such as a diving suit. In addition, a general store, as well as going off of that, there could be an anvil somewhere around here, but no furnace since, we're underwater. The new location doesn't have to be Prif levels of content, but something that could add 1 or 2 things where players want to go here. So in that case, it's most likely going to be the giant seaweed farming patch or patches if you want to be generous. Alright, so this is a section where we actually tackle some of the PVM problems that we have here. What's a common issue that people believe Slayer possesses? The Slayerscape viewpoint on monsters. Everything should be done on Slayer. If you're not doing this activity on a Slayer task, then what's the point? Well, being underwater, this could change this entire situation. One of the rewards from the boss, and we'll go into this one later, could be a full metal deep sea diving suit. The ones that were a thing back in the early 1900s. Those big bulky suits are able to force you to walk on the ocean surface, needing the entire set to be able to be equipped in order for you to go down in the depths below. So a helmet, torso, legs, boots, and some type of oxygen backpack for your cape slot. You have now forced the players into not using a Slayer helm for anything related to be PVM down here, making Slayerscape non-existent. Now you could add an increase in accuracy and damage if you were to make all the monsters in this underwater location undead, giving the salve another use, but the overall approach is that you force the player to have a device on them that limits the gear that they can use, especially negating all the options for a helmet slot, since you need this diving helmet to breathe. But another thing you can do is have different tiers of this helmet, allowing more weight and allowing to get rid of the oxygen backpack entirely. That way that you can just free up your cape slot, meaning with the more weight on the helmet and allowing to breathe, players are able to, use bandos, fire capes, infernal capes, dragon boots. See how it slowly works towards allowing surface items? You're being forced to not use the Slayer helm. You force weight parameters to allow players to walk and run underwater. Potentially you could add salve as best in slot and give it another use. And you have an entire deep sea diving outfit, or have upgrades to this outfit that becomes best in slot in a specific location to retain value. So now that we're underwater, let's just get rid of range. That's a problem that people have, especially with the blowpipe, so just get rid of it. Yeah, the blowpipe is getting nerfed, but just let's remove range altogether down here, and we could have the reasoning behind of like, the currents are too strong to fire such a device down here. By forcing range out of the picture, you now have the availability of melee, allowing people to use melee-based weapons like whips, god swords, dragon warhammer, maybe Zambi spear or Hasta. It allows for players to use these items, giving them another purpose, allowing them to retain or increase in value for those that want to use the best in slot down here. So another question may be, well, what are all the rich players going to be using? Since range is out of the question, there's no twisted bow and whatnot. Well, how about we have, Dragon Claws be still up there, being one of the best special attack weapons. Maybe switch it up. Maybe give the Bando's God Sword a best in slot reasoning. That way it does more damage consistently compared to the Dragon Warhammer because of the property that the Bando's God Sword has. How about another thing where maybe, because even though you can't use the full Inquisitor set, maybe the Inquisitor armor, torso, and legs, as well as the mace, there's a lot of things to go off of. Again, main purpose, retaining value, allowing those previous PVM content pieces to be able for players to do and gain some money, allowing those items to retain in price or increase. And another question you may be asking is, what about magic? What should that be used down here? Honestly, I think that should go up to Jagex if they want to use magic. If the more variety that you have, the better. Again, items that are related to magic, they might increase in price because of this, but it's just a thought. Have a thought in your head. Should magic be used down here? Should water-based attacks be used down here in general? Does it make sense? So the main takeaway from this segment, get rid of range, no twisted bow, no blowpipe, allow melee, and potentially magic. Alright, so the last section I have is related to the monsters. Of course, from the ocean, there's a plethora of what we could choose from. A giant nautilus, giant crabs, sharks, isopods. There's so much you could do with this. Potentially, the environment be dangerous, like coral or, rocks or something. Like if you can implement like falling rocks in an area. There's so many varieties of things you can do. But I think the most important thing would be the boss. Okay, so hear me out here. A dragon eel, which is also electric. So if you don't know what a dragon eel looks like, they look like this. I never heard of it before. I literally googled eels and picked the coolest looking one. So anyways, this could be the new boss for this area, requiring you to dodge some of the lightning that it throws out, like during the Olm fight with the lightning phase when his hand shows the lightning symbol. So this is where the electric part comes with this, eel. So other attacks that could be used are melee based as well as mage, but most likely will be melee based. Other attacks that the eel could do is maybe sections of the fight where there's electrical pools on the ground, so don't stand in them, otherwise you'll get stunned and you can't move. In addition, the boss could send out an electrical ball that roams around the room and leaves behind a electrical trail, so pretty much like the blood blob in the maiden room from Theater of Blood. Just some thoughts. Just some thoughts out there what this boss could do. But the most important thing, what about the drops? Obviously gear that would be great for this newfound expansion, so different levels of that diving suit that I was talking about earlier, offering new upgrades, stats, and potentially strength bonuses. In addition, the highest tier would be the helmet version, allowing for the ability to breathe underwater while meeting the weight requirement for you to be able to run and walk down here, allowing to open up the gear slots for your cape, torso, leg, and boots. In addition, the normal drops could include like the usual battle staves, runes, coal, adamant, and the usual other PVM stuff that we have. In addition, there could be a new weapon to be introduced that would be used on the outside of the underwater world. I'd say something that's like tier 65 or 70. It could be like a two-handed sword. This could be seen as a strength-based training weapon. But again, these are only ideas that I have out, just a thought. But yeah, I want to see what you guys think. I mean, I did a little bit of write-up of this, and it really is just thoughts on pen and paper. Not much editing has gone into this, as you can see. Really just an idea. Other than that, guys, that's really it. My name's Shankamuffin. I'm signing out. Please enjoy this outro. And as always, guys, thank you to our channel membership supporters for supporting this channel, as well as for our newest addition to the group, Z Kinzel, for being the Blueberry Muffin tier.